Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. We are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. As it what we completed in the last session. Right, sir. We observe the last class content. We are discussing about Java programming format. In Java programming format, what we have actually overall 5 parts are available in Java programming format. First one is comment section. Next one is package section. Third one is import section. Next one is classes or interfaces section. And the fifth one is main class section. These are the various sections are available in Java. Right, sir. Comment section. In application development, in Java application development, it is a convention to provide some description about our implementation parts, which includes that the description includes other name and objective of that implementation, project details, modules details, and so on. Before starting implementation, we have to provide all these details. To provide these details, we will use comment section where we will use comments. There are 3 types of comments in Java: single line comment, multi-line comment, and documentation comment. Single line comment allows the description in a single line, and documentation, that means multi-line comments, allows the description in more than one line, and syntax is available like this. Documentation comment allows the description in more than one page. In general, we will use the documentation comments to prepare API documentations. In general, we will use documentation comments to prepare API documentations. After this clearly. API documentation. It may be a text file or PDF file or a doc file. It will provide the complete declarative details of all programming elements which we used in our Java application. Example, this is emp.txt where we provided some details like which one? All class information and variables information, access modifiers. Next one is interfaces and variables, methods, constructors. Everything what we used in our programming there, that everything is provided in the form of a document that is called as which one? API documentation. But using this documentation comments for API to prepare this API documentation is not suggestible, where we have to go for like which one? To simplify documentation preparation, Java has provided a predefined command in the form of Java doc command. Java doc command is able to provide API documentation of our Java applications in the form of HTML files. Right, sir. Then I've shown already an example to you how to prepare this API documentation by using Java doc command. Right, sir. Then API documentation not only for our Java applications, for Java predefined library also API documentation is available. Already Oracle has given that API documentation for that. Right, sir. Leave this one. Next one is after completion of this, to provide metadata or a description in Java applications. To provide metadata or a description in Java applications, JDK 1.5 version has provided a new feature in the form of annotations. To provide metadata or a description in Java applications, JDK 1.5 version has provided a new feature in the form of which one? Annotations. That's the point here. Next one is to provide metadata in Java applications. Already we have comments. Then what is the requirement to use annotations? This is a question, sir. To provide metadata in Java applications, already we have comments. Then what is the requirement to come for which one? No, annotations. This is a question. Right. For this question, I'm giving answers to you clearly. Understand this clearly. Right, sir. Good. For example, in Java applications, if we provide metadata, if we provide description by using comments, if we provide description by using comments, let's observe this clearly. In Java applications, if we provide description by using comments, then if we provide description by using comments, then lexical analysis space, lexical analyzer. I think you already aware about it. Lexical analyzer is able to remove that comments and the provided description. As observe this clearly. Lexical analyzer is able to remove that comments and the provided description. If we provide the description by using comments, then lexical analyzer is able to remove that comments and description from Java program as part of compilation. You know already, compiler structure if you observe there, lexical analysis space, syntax analysis space, semantic analysis, intermediate code generation, code optimization, and code execution. Right, so code generation, not code execution, code generation. Nearly 6 number of phases are available. That very first phase is which one? Lexical analysis phase. This lexical analysis phase will take that comments and its description. Lexical analysis phase will remove that comments and description from the respective Java program. So comments and its description, is available up to .java file only. It is not available. The description is not available. It is not available to .class file and up to runtime environment. Understand it, sir? In Java applications, if you provide description and comments by using comments, then the comments and description is removed by lexical analysis phase as part of the compilation. The comments and its description is not available to .class files, and it is not available to like which one, runtime of our applications. Right, sir. Exactly in this particular situation, to make available description up to runtime of our application, that means up to .java file, comma, up to .java file, comma, up to .class file, and up to runtime of our application. Up to runtime of our application. Up to .java file and up to .class file and up to runtime of our application, then we have to use annotations. That's it. This is what exactly the requirement of like which one? Annotations. To make available description up to .java file and up to .class file and at runtime. Alright, while executing our application also we require some description. So where comments are not sufficient. Why? Because comments are available up to .java file only. They are not available to .class and up to runtime. But here, in the case of this Java, when we execute these programs there, that means if we use annotations, that annotations data is available up to .java file, up to .class file, and up to which one? Runtime of our applications. This is the total scope of which one? Annotations. That's the point we are able to understand. So main intention of annotations is which one? To provide description at runtime. While executing our program. To provide description at runtime. Comments are not sufficient. Definitely we have to go for which one? Annotations. This is a question here. This is a question and answer here we are getting it. Next one is another question here we are getting immediately. By seeing this type of answer here, by getting this type of answer here, we are getting another type of question. What about our another type of question? No, that question would be, right, sir, in Java applications, to provide description, metadata or description at the runtime of our applications, we have already XML documents. In Java applications, to provide metadata at runtime of our applications, we have already XML documents. Then what is the requirement then what is the requirement to use annotations? In the previous question, we said comments are not available at runtime of our application. That's why we are using annotations. Annotations data is available at runtime. But in Java, already we are able to use XML documents. For Java programs, we are able to use XML documents to provide data at runtime, metadata, description at runtime. Then what is the requirement to use annotations? Again, this type of question here we are getting. Right. So now for this, I'm giving answer to you. Try to observe this clearly. What is that answer here I'm providing here regarding this particular point? All of you observe this clearly. Definitely, we are having some drawbacks with XML documents. What is the requirement to go for annotations over XML? No? Definitely, some drawbacks are available with XML documents. What are the drawbacks? Observe this clearly. Point number one. See, basically, we are Java developers. We know only Java. But XML is not the part of Java. XML is a separate scripting technology. It's not the part of Java. It's the outside technology. But if we are using XML document for our applications, then Java developers must learn XML technology or not. Java developers must learn XML technology. All of you observe this clearly. Java developers must learn XML technology. Right, sir. But it is a somewhat headache for the Java developers. It is a little bit headache. Right, sir. Leave it. After completion of this, after that, what about the next one here? The next one is like which one? If you want to use XML document for our application, first we have to prepare XML document. That XML document must be stored in a particular location. That location should be proper. From that location only Java program has to read data from XML document. So the point here, what I am telling to you, every time we have to check whether XML documents are located at proper locations or not. Every time we have to check whether XML documents are located at proper locations or not. Java developers must learn XML technology. That is one thing. Second one is every time we have to check whether XML documents are located at proper locations or not. Every time we have to check whether XML documents are located at proper locations or not. If they're not at proper locations, there may be a chance to get file not found exceptions. If the content is not at proper locations, then JVM is able to provide file not found exceptions. Understand it clearly now. Next one is, and one more point here we have to understand, before using XML documents, or else if you want to use XML document in our Java applications, that XML document must be well-formed document. Well-formedness, rules and regulations are available for XML documents. Contains only one single root or not. Then all the elements are provided in a right order or not. All the attributes are having data or not. And maybe then this type of rules and regulations are available here. So what is the point I'm telling you? So every time we have to check. Every time we have to check whether the XML file, XML document is in a well-formed format or not. Every time we have to check whether XML document is in a well-formed format or not. Right, sir. Java developers must learn XML technology. This is one thing. Every time we have to check whether XML documents are located at proper locations or not. Next one is every time we have to check whether the XML document is in well-formed format or not. Right, sir. Other one is like which one? If you want to read data from XML documents, then definitely we have to use parsing mechanisms. Some parsing techniques here we have to use. SAX parser or a DOM parser, like this. Number of parsing techniques are available. So what we have to do now? Every time we have to check whether we are using right parsing mechanisms or not. Every time we have to check whether we are using right parsing mechanisms or not. That's it. Now totally clear what is the point I'm telling to you. Our question is like which one? Already we have XML documents to provide data at runtime. Then what is the requirement to go for annotations? Answer is very clear. There are some drawbacks with XML documents if you're using. What are the various problems with XML documents? First one is which one? Java developers must learn XML technology. And every time we have to check whether XML documents are located at proper locations or not. If they're not available at proper locations, we are able to get like which one? File not found exception. And every time we have to check whether XML document is in well-formed format or not. Every time we have to check whether XML documents are in well-formed format or not. Right, sir. Well-formed format in the sense that XML document is provided perfectly or not. Right, sir. So that we have to check. And every time we have to check whether we are using right parsing mechanisms or not. I said to you clearly, if you want to read data from XML document, we need to use some parsers. Some parsing mechanisms here we have to use to read data from XML document. So SAX parser, DOM parser, like this, number of parsers are available. So out of all these parsers, whether we are using right parser or not to read data from the XML document. So for that purpose, we need to go for parsing mechanism. So whether we are using right parsing mechanism or not to read data from the XML document. Right, so this is what exactly the meaning of like which one? No, the drawbacks with XML documents. Right, so simple point to overcome these problems. To overcome these problems, we have to use a Java alternative. We have to use a Java alternative, that is which one can know annotations. That's it. This is the requirement to go for annotations. And again, I'm telling to you how to declare these annotations and how to use them in our applications. We will see in the future. There is a separate topic. Just here we are having metadata topic. That's why I introduced these annotations immediately here itself. But anyway, it's not required to go for these annotations immediately. But basic information now given about these annotations. What is the need to come for these annotations over XML documents here? We understood clearly. Then I'm able to give one simple note. In Java J2EE, in Java J2EE technologies, we are able to use annotations as an alternative to XML documents. In Java J2EE technologies, we are able to use annotations as an alternative to XML technologies. That's it. This is the total awareness here we can understand about like which one? No, XML documents. That's it. This is the clear-cut information here we have to follow about this particular content. Right, sir. This is completed anyway. This part is completed now, totally. After completion of this, and which technologies are using XML and which technologies are using annotations? I want to know that. Which technologies are using XML and which technologies are using annotations? Just we want to know that. For that purpose, I'm giving clarity to you. Try to recognize this. Which technologies are using XML and which technologies are using annotations in the sense? XML based technologies. Similarly, annotation based technologies. XML based technologies and annotation based technologies. Right, sir. First one is what I'm telling to you up to JDK 1.4 version. It is XML only. JDK 1.5 version onwards, annotations are used. Next one is like which one? Then after that, JDBC 3.0 up to that, XML only. One or two situations we are able to use. Next one is like which one? JDBC 4.0 onwards, we are able to have which one? Annotations. Next one is Servlets 2.5 version, XML based. Servlets 3.0 version onwards, annotations are used. Next one is after completion of this, EJBs. EJBs 2.x version is XML based, but EJBs 3.x version onwards, totally annotation based. Spring 2.4 version, is XML based. Right, sir. Now, Spring 2.5 version onwards, annotations are available. Struts framework. Struts 1.x version is totally XML based. Struts 2.x version is totally annotation based. JSF 1.x version is totally XML based. Right, sir. JSF 2.x version is like which one? Annotation based. Like this, we are able to have which one? Number of technologies are available. This is the total awareness, like which one, which technologies are using XML and which technologies are using which one? No, annotations. If you observe these points now, all the older technologies are using XML documents and all the newer technologies are using which one? Annotations. If you observe these versions details now, all the older technologies are using XML and all the newer technologies are using which one? No, annotations. That's it. This is the total awareness on like which one? No, annotations, and part of this comment section. Totally, this comment section part is completed, sir, with this particular content. After completion of this total comment section, that the next content is like which one here? Package section. And again, I'm telling to you, annotations we will discuss there in the future effectively. Nearly 5 to 6 hours of time we require to complete these annotations. But at present, what I am giving to you, clearly what is overview of these annotations, what is the need to come for these annotations. Up to that part only here, we are using there clearly. Right, so leave this one. Now coming to the next one. What about this next one here? Package section. What exactly the meaning of this package? First, we have to understand it. Right, so now here I want to give some definitions to you. Packages, no? Observe this clearly. What is package actually? Package is the collection of related classes and interfaces. Package is the collection of related classes and interfaces as a single unit. That's the package is the collection of related classes and interfaces as a single unit. This is called as which one? Package. That's it. Package is a collection of related classes and interfaces as a single unit. Good. Similarly, another definition is available. Understand it now? Package is a folder. Package is a folder. Contains. Package is a folder. Contains .class files. That means if we compile our Java files here, we are able to get .class file. So package is a folder which contains .class files representing related classes and interfaces. There are the two definitions here we can understand. Package is a collection of related classes and interfaces as a single unit. Next one is package is a folder contains .class files representing related classes and interfaces. Right, so this is what exactly the meaning of like which one? No, definitions. Two definitions are existed here. We can understand it now. Next one is after completion of this, what are the various advantages of these packages actually? Right, sir. Now at present, just I want to list out these advantages, but their internal representation is not required. In the future, in packages topic, we are going to understand clearly. But at the starting point of these classes, just we can understand list of advantages. What are the various advantages of these packages? No. First one is modularity. Modularity. Dividing a particular requirement into a number of pieces. Logical partition over the requirement set. That each and every logical partition is called as which one? Modularity. Right, sir. First one is like which one? No, modularity. Right, sir. After completion of this modularity, and the second one is like which one? Abstraction. Abstraction is nothing but which one? Hiding the internal declarations, hiding some content. That is called as which one? Abstraction. Third one is like which one here? Security. Security is nothing but which one? Protecting the content. That means indirectly hiding the content. Hiding the content is nothing but which one? Abstraction. Wherever abstraction is available, there automatically we are able to get which one? Of security. If we declare classes and interface in a particular folder, then automatically security is coming. Because that folder is providing security for its internal details. That's the security here we are able to get. After completion of this security, next one is like which one here? Shareability here we are able to get another one. Shareability. One time if we declare a package, no, at the same time we can reuse that same package by number of modules. Same package would be used by number of applications at a time. It is possible. Single copy can be shared to multiple applications. So here we are able to get shareability. The next one is like which one here? Reusability. What is the meaning of this reusability? One time if we define the packages, then we are able to reuse that package at any number of times. We can reuse that package at any number of times. We don't have any limitations for it. So this is nothing but which one? Reusability. These are overall advantages of packages. Right, sir. First one is which one? Modularity. Second one is like which one? Abstraction. Next one is security. And next one is shareability. Next one is which one? Reusability. These are the various advantages of these packages. Next one, sir. After completion of this, what are the various types of packages that existed? Types of packages. Right. I will give clarity on these types of packages now. All of you observe this clearly. Types of packages are like which one? What are the various types of packages? No, there are two types of packages are available. First one is like which one? Predefined packages, and second one is user-defined packages. Two types of packages are available. First one is predefined packages, and second one is which one? User-defined packages. What is the meaning of this predefined package and what is the meaning of this user-defined package now? If you observe this clearly, predefined packages, these packages are defined by Java programming language. These packages are defined by Java programming language and provided along with the Java software. And provided along with the Java software. Some packages are defined by Java programming language only. They are available inside the Java predefined library. Examples like which one here? Java.io, Java.util, and Java.sql. All these are like which one can know predefined packages. After this clearly. What about this user-defined packages here? These packages are defined by Java, defined by the developers. These packages are defined by the developers as per their application requirements. User-defined packages. These packages are defined by the developers as per their application requirements. But how, sir? How we are able to define user-defined packages? Predefined packages are not required to declare. Already they are provided by Java programming language. In Java, already they are existed. But user-defined packages, in the sense, we have to define them. Then how we are able to define these user-defined packages? If we come for this point, to declare user-defined packages, no, here we need to use a syntax. What is the syntax here we are able to use? Package name, semicolon. Package name, semicolon. In this way here we are able to declare which one? User-defined package. Come on guys, understand this clearly now. What is the syntax we are going to use to prepare these user-defined packages? No, package name, semicolon. That's it. But here, what is this package name actually? Where package name may be single name or the combination of parent package name and child package name with the dot separator. So where package name may be a single name or the combination of parent package name and a child package name. Parent package name or child package name with the dot separator. Example I am telling to you. For example, here we can understand it like which one here, package P semicolon, single name. Package P1 dot P2 dot P3 semicolon. Right, sir. Both are valid. Package P is which one can know is a single folder where data, that means single folder where the files are going to be stored. Package P1 dot P2 dot P3. Then what is the meaning of it now? Here P1 is a parent package name, P2 is a child package name. Then again P2 is a parent package name, P3 is which one? No, child package name. Right, so like this here we are able to declare that package names. Right, good. But here, if you want to use this package declaration statement in a Java applications, if you want to use package declaration statement in Java applications, here we have to follow a condition. Two conditions here we have to follow. What are the two conditions? No, first one is like which one? Package declaration statement. Package declaration statement must be first statement in a Java file. It must not be second statement and a third statement. Package declaration statement must be first statement in Java file. It must not be second statement and the third statement. Right, sir. This is like which one can know conditions and package declaration statement. It must be first statement in Java file. It must not be second statement and third statement. Right, sir. Next one is second condition is which one? Package names must be unique. Package content is shareable. Understand my point here. Package data inside this package, number of class and interface are available. They are shareable to multiple programs at a time. That's okay. But names of the package must be unique. Why? Because package names are which one? Packages are folders actually. Right, sir. Packages are which one? You know, folders actually. Understand my point clearly now. Packages are like which one? Folders. That folder name must be which one? No, unique. Right, sir. But this is nothing but package declaration statement. All these syntaxes are given there. How this package statement is provided? This is package declaration statement. Right, sir. So package names must be unique. They must not be shareable, and they must not be duplicated. Package names must be unique. They must not be shareable, and they must not be duplicated. Understand this? What I'm telling to you now. So this is nothing but like which one can know package declaration statement. Package names must be unique. They must not be shareable, and they must not be duplicated. Right, sir. Now immediately we have a question, guys. All of you have to this clearly, guys. Now tell me, package declaration statement must be first statement Java file or not? That is a condition here. In Java file, no second, third. The first statement should be like which one? A package declaration statement. It must not be second statement and it must not be third statement. But up to this, I'll ask one question there. Is it possible to provide more than one package declaration statement in a single Java file? We have to answer for it. Is it possible to provide more than one package declaration statement in a single Java file? Come on, guys, give answer for my question now. More than one package declaration statement is possible or not possible? Please read the statement and give answer. Please read the statement and we can give answer. Package declaration statement must be first statement in Java file. It must not be second and it must not be third. Then immediately what I'm asking now, is it possible to provide more than one package declaration statement in single Java file? Understand the relation between these 2 points. Right, sir. Now here we have to give answer now. Possible or not possible? Possible or not possible? Right, sir. Answer for this question is which one? No, not possible. Not at all possible. It is not possible. We can observe this clearly. No, it is not possible. No, it is not possible to provide more than one. It is not possible to provide more than one package declaration statement in a single Java file. Why? Because what is the reason for it? No, in a Java files, package statement must be first statement. Tell me, sir, how many first statements are possible? How many first statements are possible? Only one first statement or more than one is first statement? No. Out of this, only one first statement. Observe this example clearly, what I'm telling you now. So for example, package P1, package P2, package P3 semicolon, and some content here we can understand. This is the file here I've taken. My file name is like which one? abc.java. Inside these and three package statements here I provided. Right, sir. Now here this is like which one valid, and this is like which one invalid. Declaring in a Java file like this package P1, package P2, package P3 in a single file. This is like which one? Invalid. Right, sir. This is like which one invalid. We can understand it. Package P1, package P2, package P3 semicolon. Only first one is valid and remaining two things are which one? Invalid. Why? Because they are not first statements. Only package declaration statement must be which one? First statement that is valid. Remaining things are invalid only. Right, sir. This is what exactly the condition here. Next one is one more point here we have to observe clearly. One more point, understand it clearly, no? To manage or else might be to provide package names, Java has provided a convention. To provide package names, Java has provided a convention like to include. Java has provided a convention like to include what it has to include there, like to include our company domain name in reverse. To provide package names, Java has provided a convention like to include our company domain name in reverse. Everybody has to understand it, like to include our company domain name in reverse. Right, sir. First of all, what is our website? Now, for example, I'm working with Durgasoft. So my website name is which one? www.durgasoft.com. Okay. Then domain name is which one? Durgasoft.com. Reverse name is which one? com.durgasoft. Then include this in our package name. Include this in our like which one? Package name. Right, sir. We can understand it clearly. Example I'm telling to you. Package com.durgasoft. ICICI dot transactions right, sir. Transactions dot withdraw semicolon, or else maybe you can understand it clearly. Deposit. But what exactly that each and every one can package com.durgasoft.icc.transactions.deposit. Right, sir. Here we can observe this clearly. Com.durgasoft. What is this com.durgasoft actually? It's a company domain name in reverse. Next one is ICICI. Is which one here? Is a project or client name. Transactions. This is like which one module name. Then a deposit. This deposit is like which one sub module name. Understand it, sir? What exactly the point I'm telling to you? Clearly we can understand it. com.durgasoft is a company domain name in reverse. ICICI project or client name. Transactions is a module name, and deposit is like which one? No, sub module name. That's it. This is what exactly the structure to go for like which one? No, package declaration statement. Right, sir. This is the total awareness on like which one? Package statement. Let's see this what exactly the content here I covered up to now regarding this package names. No, listen carefully. First of all, I've given what exactly the definitions for the packages. How many definitions are available? Two definitions are available for packages. No, first one is like which one? Package is the collection of related classes and interfaces as a single unit. Next one is package is a folder contains dot class files representing related classes and interfaces. Good, sir. Then after that, after completion of this point here, another thing is like which one? Advantages of packages. Nearly how many advantages are available for packages? No, we can understand it. No, 5 advantages are available. What are the 5 advantages for these packages here? No, first one is like which one? Modularity, and the next one is like which one? Abstraction. Next one is security, shareability, and reusability. Next one is how many types of packages are available? Two types of packages are available. First one is predefined packages, and next one is which one? No, user-defined packages. But what is this predefined package actually? These packages are defined by the developers. These packages are defined by Java programming language and provided along with the Java software. Java.io, Java.util, Java.sql. All these are which one? Predefined packages. But what about these user-defined packages actually? These packages are defined by the developers as per their application requirements. These packages are defined by the developers as per their application requirements. This is called as which one? User-defined packages. How to declare this user-defined package actually? To declare user-defined package here, we are able to use the syntax like which one? Package name. Right, sir. What is this package name actually? Where package name may be a single name or it is a combination of parent package name and a child package name. Right, sir. Examples I have taken. Package P, that is a single name. Package P1.P2.P3, combination of parent package name and child package names are available. First one is P1.P2.P3 in the sense first P1 folder is available. Inside this P1 folder, P2 folder is existed. Inside this P2 folder, P3 folder is existed. Observe this clearly. Right, sir. After completion of this, conditions are available. Conditions are existed. What are the two conditions? No, if you want to use package statements in Java applications, two conditions are available. What are the two conditions that are existed here? First one is like which one? Package declaration statement must be first statement in Java file. It must not be second statement and third statement. It must be first statement. Next one is package names must be unique. They must not be shareable and they must not be duplicated. Next, immediately we have a question. Is it possible to provide more than one package declaration statement in a single Java file? Answer is no. It is not possible to provide more than one package declaration statement in a single Java file. Why? Because in Java files, package statement must be first statement. In Java files, package statement must be first statement. Right, sir. Examples I've given abc.java, package P1 valid, package P2 invalid, package P3 invalid. Right, sir. Next one. To provide package names, Java has provided a convention like to include our company domain name in reverse. www.durgasoft.com. This is our website name, where domain name is durgasoft.com. Reverse of it is which one? com.durgasoft. Example is package com.durgasoft.icc.transactions.deposit. So here we can understand it clearly. com.durgasoft is which one? Company domain name in reverse. ICICI is which one? You know, project or client name. After completion of this, transactions is which one? Module name. Deposit is which one? You know, sub module name. Observe this clearly. These are the various points here we have to understand about like which one? No, like a packager, like which one? You know, content. We can understand it clearly. Right, sir. Next one is after completion of this total content, no, we have to come for this which one? Import statement. import statement, import section. Guys, observe this clearly, all of you know. Already we have some packages. Say for example, P1 package is available where class A, class B are included. See, understand it clearly. P1 package is already existed. Under this P1 package, which things are available? Class A, class B, two things are existed. P2 package is available. Under this, C and D classes are existed. Already they are defined, they are existed. Good. But now I'm preparing a program, tester.java. A file I'm preparing, no, tester.java. Now inside this, what I will take now, public class tester. Inside this public class tester, public static void main string array args here we are providing. Right, sir. Public class tester, public static void main string array args. Now inside this, I want to use A class, B class, C class, and D class. Just I'm creating A class object. Similarly, I'm creating B class object. B small b is equal to new b. Next one is I'm preparing C class object. C small c is equal to new c object. And similarly, I'm creating objects. D small d is equal to new d. But listen carefully. If you want to use members of any particular class, right, sir? My question is unanswered in. What was the question you have asked? Already I answered almost on all the points. Parsing mechanisms, right? Sushma, what is your question? Modularity is nothing but which one? Is a logical partition in our requirement set. For example, a bank application is available, account section, transactions, loan section. So all these are logical partition. Each and every logical partition is nothing. Sushma, what is your question? I think all the questions I answered. Tell me, what was that question I have not answered to you? Yeah, shareability is available, right? Yeah, shareability is available. Then but in conditions of packages, yeah, yeah. I think you are not listening properly. Sushma, you are not listening properly. I given one point, especially I given that point. Huh? Guys, now tell me, I said one point here exactly. Have you remembered this point here? Anyway, then I'm explaining to you. Have you remembered this point? In the case of these conditions, while giving this point, what is that one? This point. I mentioned one point. I mentioned one point clearly. Even after completion of this class, also just we can check that video. There I specified one point. Guys, what is that point I've given? Especially I've given package content is shareable, but package names are not shareable. In advantages, we specified package content is shareable, but package name is not shareable. Understand it clearly now. So I said this point. A name of the package is unique, definitely. Why? Because package name is nothing but folder name only. Folder names must be unique. But content of the package is shareable to multiple programs at a time. Right. And moreover, Shushma, when you asked this question to me, I checked this chat window continuously. Previously, I have asked this question. 1 minute, 1 minute. Let me check it. Your questions I am able to read out previously. Right, one time you said yes. And next one is directly you said, sir, my question is unanswered in the package section. That's it. Only these two messages sent previously. But now only you are asking this question. Right, at least if you ask that question, I can give answers there. Directly you said to me, my question is unanswered now. How? Okay. Anyway, have you got answer now? Sushma, have you got answer now? No response. Sushma, are you there? Waiting for your reply. Have you understood what exactly the answer I said to you? No response. No response. Sushma, are you there? No response. Sushma. Okay. Right. Okay, fine. Leave it. Right, sir. Anyway, leave this one. Guys, that then whenever we are asking some questions, I'll give some response there. Whenever I'm giving response, no, at least say some response there, whether you understood or not. If you give some response there, then I will go for the next point. Anyway. Okay, fine. Right, sir. Now, next one is like which one? After this clearly. What's the point I'm telling to you? Import section here we are discussing there. In import section, P1 package contains A comma B, P2 package contains C comma D. Now, I'm preparing this test.java completely outside. I'm preparing test.java completely outside. Public class test, public static void main, string array args. Right, sir. Now here I'm using directly class A from P1 package, class B from P2 package, class C from P2 package, class D from P2 package, A, B from P1 package, C, D from which one? No, P2 package. Understand it clearly, But one thing I'm telling to you, once these A, B, C, D are from different packages, if they are available in different packages, and if you want to use them, first of all, we have to import that packages. First of all, we have to import that packages. That is important. That is mandatory. We have to import that packages, then only we have to use that. If we use directly, we will get error. So here the point what I'm telling to you, we need to write like which one? Import package name dot star. What's the meaning of star? I will give you clarity. Again here, import P1, P2 dot star here we have to provide. Right, sir, understand my point. These import statements are making available AP from P1, CD from P2 package to the present Java file. Right, sir. So here, what is the purpose of this import statements actually? To make available classes and interfaces of a particular package into the present Java file. To make available classes and interface of a particular package into the present Java file, we have to import the respective package. Right, sir. Understand it clearly. What I'm telling you now. To make available classes and interfaces, to make available classes and interface of a particular package into the present Java file, we have to import the respective package. To import this respective package, we need to import the respective package, we need to use two syntaxes now. What are the two syntaxes here we are using there? Import package name dot star. Import package name dot star. Observe this clearly. Here, what is the meaning of it now? It able to import all members of the specified package. It able to import all members of the specified package. For example, import java.io.star. Observe this clearly. Java.io is a package, no? Inside this java.io, star is available. Star represents which one? All classes and interface of java.io. In java.io, hundreds and hundreds of classes and interfaces are available. Just they're available to us, that's it. Then after getting availability, then we can use them. Understand my point? Just they're available to our file, present file, to use them. Then we are able to use that. That is one point. Next one is second syntax is existed. Understand it now. What about the second syntax here? Import package name dot member name, semicolon. Import package name dot member name. What is the purpose of this one? It able to import only the specified member. Only the specified member from the specified package. It able to import only the specified member from specified package. Understand it clearly. For example, I'm giving clarity to you. Observe this clearly. Import java.io.buffered reader. For example, in my present Java file, I required only buffered reader class. I required only buffered reader class. I don't require more than one class. In java.io package, I required only buffered reader class. Understand it clearly. So just import only that one, not required import all the remaining class and interface of the java.io. In java.io, I required only buffered reader. Import only that one, not required to import the remaining class and interfaces. Just we can use this. Jagadish, understood what exactly the point I said to you now? Jagadish, Balneni, have you understand it? Right, sir. If you required only one class from the package, just import that one only. Not required to import other one. Right, sir. Import java.io.buffered reader in the sense only buffered reader will be imported. Java.io contains number of classes, other classes are not required. Only that will be imported if you use this syntax. Right, sir. This is the point here we are able to understand it now. Right, sir. Sir, all of you are getting my point now? All of you are following my points? No response, guys. Guys, all of you are listening this class. Then in the middle, people are asking the doubts when I'm explaining the doubts, but people are not responding. Then once you are asking the question now, try to wait for the answer. When I give answer, at least give some information. If you give that information, then I will go for next point. Right. Anyway, further, apart from this information, if we require more than this content, no, we'll discuss in packages topic, not immediate. Why? Because at present your awareness is not sufficient. Even without seeing that first application also, discussing all these things is not at all suggestible. Here my requirement is which one? What exactly the basic awareness? What is this package? That's it. How to import the package? That's it. That basic awareness here I'm providing there. So not required to go for experiments now. If I do that experiments, you may get confusion. No. So not to worry for that. Jagdish, then whatever the questions you are having there, I can answer there. But first of all, give answer for the first question. What I have given there. At least if you see some response now, I will go for this. But you asked a question, I responded there. Just I waited almost 2 to 3 minutes of time, but you are not giving response. And again, second question you are asking there. Then how it is now? At least you have to respond for my answers there. Yeah, that we have to say. Then when I explain that first question answer. Right, sir. Yes, the second question answer also I'm telling there. One more question in the P1, I have test.java, test2.java. Should I use import statement if I want to use test2 in a test.java? Once these two are available in the same package, it's not required. But both are available in the same package, it's not required. Both are in different packages, no, then it is required. Right, sir. Once these two are available in the same package, no, not required to import. Directly we can use that. Right, sir. Good. Right, sir. Now this is like which one, you know, import section and import package name dot member name. That's a point here. What I'm saying to you clearly. Right, sir. Now, first one is if you want to get all class and interface from a particular package, then we can use this syntax. And if you want to use only one particular class name from the package, then we have to use this particular syntax. Right, sir. Good. Next, I'm asking one question to all of you. Now try to answer for it. I'm asking one question to all of you. Now try to answer for it. My question is like which one? Guys, observe this clearly. Is it possible to use classes and interfaces? Forget about these interfaces, no classes. Think of it. Is it possible to use classes and interfaces? Classes and interfaces without importing the respective package, without importing the packages? Is it possible to use class and interface of a particular package? Without importing that packages? Without importing that packages? Without importing that package? Right, sir. As I said to you clearly, just one package available, P1 package is available. Say for example, understand it. In P1 package, I have class A, that's it. Now tester.java, this is my Java file, main program. Inside this main program, what I am telling to you, public class test, for example. Now inside this, I'll write like which one here, public stat void main. Now string array args. Here, my question is like which one? I want to access a small a is equal to new a object I want to create. Right, sir. Understand it. Just I want to use the class a small a is equal to new a. Like this I want to use. So, but without importing, is it possible to use that package or not? That's my question. Right, sir. For this question, answer I'm giving clearly to you. Understand this? Yes. Answer is yes. Yes. Answer is yes. It's possible. It is possible to use classes and interfaces of a particular package without importing the respective package. But how it is possible? But we must use fully qualified name of the respective class. Again, there is a new word, fully qualified name. Right, sir? What is this fully qualified name? Yes, either we can use import statement or we can use fully qualified name. But what is this fully qualified name actually? What is the meaning of this fully qualified name? Observe this clearly. The meaning of this fully qualified name is specifying classes names, along with their respective package names, specifying their classes names along with this respective package names. It's called as fully qualified name. Say for example, in the same thing here we can understand it clearly. In this example, here class A is specified, right, sir? This normal specifying class A is a normal name, but fully qualified name is which one here? P1.a. A is equal to new P1.a. Wherever we have used the class name, they're providing which one? Package name. Package name dot class name. Package name dot class name. That is called as which one? Fully qualified name. Right, sir. Package name dot class name. That is called as which one? Fully qualified name. Right, sir. That's the point here we can understand. Right, sir. So now I will give an example. 1 minute, yes, 1 minute, wait, 1 minute. Guys, all of you there? Right, sir. Now understand it now. What is the meaning of fully qualified name? Just we have to write like which one, you know? Package name dot class name. That is nothing but fully qualified name. Here also package name dot class name. That's called as fully qualified name. Example I'm telling to you. A Java application with import statement, and I will show Java application without import statement. Both I will provide. Right, sir. Sir, how to know which is class name or which is interface name? Just that is by practice we are able to get, sir. Documentation we have to open. And anyway, just once we are preparing the Java programs, automatically we can understand which one is class and which one is like non-class. So class in the sense with the class keyword, that class names are declared actually. They are nothing but classes. Right, sir. Java application with import statement, Java application without import statement. As now, import java.io.star. All of you listen carefully. Import java.io.star. Carefully. When we provide import java.io.star, in java.io package, which classes and which interface are available, we can use them directly in our present Java program without specifying its package name. Directly we can use them because of this import statement. Any number of times we can use. More than one time also we can use the same class. So one simple statement by using this java.io package, no. Buffer editor. What is the purpose of buffer editor is not required. Just think of it. This buffer editor class is available in java.io package. I think might be. Nilesh, you asked this question. What is it? This buffer editor not required now. Just buffer editor is a class available in java.io package. We imported that. Now we are using that. Buffer editor br is equal to new buffer editor of new input stream reader of then system dot in. This is a statement. Observe this clearly. Buffer reader from java.io. Already we imported, directly we have written class name. New buffer data. Again, second time I'm using buffer data. Again, this is from which one? Java.io package. Already we imported that we are using now. Input stream reader, another class from the same buffer reader that we have used it. So input stream reader, buffer reader, and buffer reader. Two times we have used buffer reader, and one time we have used which one? Input stream reader. So all these are available in java.io package. One time if you import the package, then we are able to use like which one? No, any number of times, any number of classes from the same java.io package. That's the point I'm telling to you. Next, now coming to this option. Java program, Java application without import statement. All right, sir. Without import statement, in the sense same statement here I want to write. But if we are not importing that, what we have to do now? Every time specification of this buffer data, just we have to say like which one java.io.buffer data. Why? Because now we are confirming buffer data is from java.io package. Here also java.io.buffer data. Here also we have to confirm it is like which one? Buffer data class. It is coming from java.io. Wherever we are writing this input stream reader, there we have to write like which one? Java.io.input stream reader. Here also we can confirm this is from like which one, you know, buffer data class. That means java.io. That's it. See, observe this clearly. This is without import statement and this is with import statement. Come on, guys. Now I'm asking one question to you. Import statement is available, fully qualified names are available. Then which things are suggestible in our Java applications? Import statement is suggestible, or directly fully qualified names are suggestible. Which things are suggestible in our applications? Come on, guys. I'm asking question to all of you now. Which things are suggestible in our Java applications? Is that import statement or fully qualified name? Right, sir. Answer is which one? Always in a Java applications. In Java applications, import statements are suggestible. Import statements are suggestible instead of which one? Fully qualified name. Always import statements are suggestible. Max import the packages, then we can use the classes. Why? Because here one time if you import the package, we can write directly classes directly now. But if you're not importing that package now, every time we have to specify package name dot class name, package name dot class name, package name dot class name. This is somewhat what I'm telling to you, like which one can know a repeatable code. It means that redundancy. Code readiness. Every time providing package name is a headache. Not required to specify package name every time now. Right, so this is what exactly the purpose of like which one? No, import statements. Let's check this one. What we completed inside this import statement now. Right, sir. What is the purpose of this import statement actually? To make available classes and interface of a particular package into the present Java file, we have to import the respective package. Two types of syntaxes are available for packages now. Import package name dot star. It able to import all from the specified package. Example is like which one? Import java.io.star. Next one is import package name dot member name. It able to import only the specified member from the specified package. It able to import only the specified member from the specified package. Example is which one? Import java.io.buffer data. Is it possible to use classes and interface of a particular package without importing that package? No. Right, sir. What is the answer here? No. It is possible to use classes and interface of a particular package without importing the respective package, but we must use fully qualified name of the respective class. Right, sir. What is that fully qualified name? I given clarity. Specifying classes names along with their respective package names is called as which one? Fully qualified name. Examples are given clearly. There are given one point here. Java program with import statement. Java program without import statement. Both we provided. Finally, we concluded. Always in Java applications, import statements are suggestible. Always in Java applications, import statements are suggestible. Why? Because if you're not writing these import statements now, every time we have to provide package names wherever we are writing classes. Whenever and wherever we are writing classes, every time we have to use that package names. This is unnecessary and this is risky kind of thing. That's why it is not suggestible to use like which one? No, packages. It's not suggestible to use which one? Fully qualified names. Right, sir. Next one. See, for example, I'm telling to you one point clearly. If I write like which one? Input java.io.star. If I write like this, no, don't think about it. All classes and interfaces are loaded to the memory. No, they are not loaded to the memory. Memory wastage is not available. What is the intention of import java.io.star? For using them, just they are available. That's it. They are available. We are eligible to use them. That's it. That's the meaning of import statement. It's not the meaning of loading the classes and classes to the memory. So memory wastage is not available. Understand what is the point I'm saying to you? Right, sir. Next one. After completion of this, one small note here I'm telling to you. All of you understand it clearly. One small point here. Understand it clearly. No. The point is in a Java files. Tell me, sir. In Java files, how many number of package statements we are able to provide? How many number of package statements here we are able to provide? Now tell me, guys. How many number of package statements here we are able to provide? No response. Package declaration statements. Nilesh, you are saying 2. How it is 2? Previously I said one note. Previously I said one note. How can you say only 2? I said one note. What is that note I given there? In the package section here, I given one point, one condition, and one question also I have asked, but still you are saying only 2 package statements here we are saying now. What was the answer I given there? What is the question here I have asked? Is it possible to provide more than one package declaration statement in single Java file? What is the answer I have given? Nilesh, you have given wrong answer now. Right. So finally here, what is the point I am telling to you? In a Java file, we are able to provide at most one package declaration statement. In Java files, we are able to provide at most one package declaration statement. But we are able to provide any number of import statements. Maybe 0 number of import statements, or 1 number of import statements, or 2 number of import statements, maybe 5 number of 10 number of import statements. Any number of import statements we are able to provide. Say for example, abc.java file is available. Here we can understand it. Package P1, package P2, package P3. That's fine. import java.io.star, import java.util.star, import java.sql.star. Like this here we are having. This many things here we provided. Package P1, valid, no problem. Tell me, sir, what about this package P2? Valid or invalid? No. Come on, guys. The package P2 is which one? Valid or invalid? Invalid. Package P3, valid or invalid? Invalid. Now tell me, import java.io.star. Import java.io.star. Valid or invalid? No. Yes, valid. Import java.util.star. Import java.util.star. Valid or invalid? Valid. Import java.sql.star. Yes, valid. It shows clearly at most one package declaration statement here we are able to provide, but any number of import statements here we are able to provide. But still I'm telling you, this is only idea what is package statement and what is import statement. Only just basic awareness I given, but it's not complete full-fledged information. We'll discuss about this content again in a packages topic. There we are going to put nearly 4 to 5 hours of time to complete that packages. No, in the future we have a separate topic. There we will understand again all these points with the practical implementations. But as of now in the Java programming structure, what is this package section and what is its importance? Up to that points only here we understood. What is import statement? What is its importance? We understood that. Only importance of these sections. That's it. Not complete awareness on this one. Right, sir. Now, two more small sections are available. Now, let me complete these two more small sections. No. Classes or interfaces section is available. Classes or interfaces section. What exactly the meaning of like which one? Classes and interfaces section now? Nothing, sir. What is the first of all we have to understand what is the purpose of these classes and interfaces. That's it. Only that point only I require. No, it's a complete syntax and its implementation and everything we will discuss in object orientation. Fourth topic, in object orientation we are going to see the total content, but here just awareness what is the purpose of the class. That's my question. Right, sir. The main intention of classes is to represent all real world entities. Like what are these real world entities? No, we can understand it. If any element has some attributes, say for example student, real world entity, account, real world entity, student in the sense student ID, student name, and all these are attributes. Account in the sense which one? Account number and account holder name, account type, all. Next one is like which one can after that. And employee has some employee ID and employee name, employee salary and all. Next one is like which one can product ID, product name, and product expiry date and product manufacture date, all this and so on and so on and so on. So all these are which one? Entities. To represent these entities only, we have to use classes and interfaces. Right, sir. Don't think what is the difference between class and interface. No, we are not going to understand these concepts now. They will be discussed in the case of like which one? No, in our object orientation. There nearly only classes syntax we will discuss nearly 3 to 4 hours of time. Only class syntax, how to declare a class, that point. So it's not required now. Just understand to represent real world entities in the form of this coding part. We need to use this like which one? No, classes. That's the purpose of this classes and interfaces that we have to understand. Next one is after completion of this, how many classes here we are able to write in our Java program? Do you have any limitation on number of classes? No. Do you have any limitation of number of classes in our Java program there? No, no limitation is existed in our Java applications. Any number of classes here we are able to write. Alright, so now here I'm able to give information to you. In Java applications, we are able to write any number of classes, as per the application requirement. That depends on our application requirement. We can write any number of classes. We are not having any limitation for it. We can declare any number of classes. Right. So this is what exactly the meaning of like which one? No, classes and interfaces section clearly. So what is the syntax of the classes and all we are going to discuss there. Anyway, if you want to think about it, no, observe this clearly. Class Say for example, employee. Inside this, just we can declare like which one there. Variables and all here we are able to declare. Say for example, into envo, right sir, string ename. Next one is like which one, float ecell, like this string eaddr. Like this here we are able to declare any number of times. That means similarly some methods also here we are able to declare, not required to list out it. So this is a way to declare classes in our Java applications. But how to write classes we'll understand in object orientation. No need to worry for that. Right, so now coming to the main class section. Class concept. In this Java programming format, main class section. Right, sir. In our Java program, we are able to write number of classes. In Java programs, we are able to write more and more number of classes. 100 classes I have written in my Java application. That is my requirement. 100 classes I have written. But out of these 100 classes now, in which Java class, in which Java class we have provided main method, in which Java class we provided main method, that Java class is called as main class. All of you have to this clearly. Number of Java classes here we are able to provide. Out of all the classes, which class contains main method, that class is treated as which one? No, main class. Here main class is mandatory. Why? Because main method is mandatory. Without main method, we are unable to run Java program. So main method is mandatory. So main class is also be mandatory. Then how we are able to write this main class actually? Say for example, public class tester. We think this is like which one here? Main class. Now inside this, we will write like which one here? Main method. Public static void main string array args. Like this. Here we are able to write it. This is main method. Inside this main method we have written inside this which one? A main class. That's why this is like which one? No, mandatory. No. Good sir. Now here I have a question now. Simple question here I'm having. What about my question now? What is the requirement of main method, guys? In Java applications, that's my question. This question is not only in the case of Java. This question is available in the case of the C, C++ also. There also we are writing main method. Now tell me, you have to give answer for this. What is the requirement of main method in Java applications now? What is the requirement of the main method in the Java applications now? Right, I'm able to give two reasons now. Reason number one, to keep application logic which must be recognized by JVM. To keep application logic in order to recognize and executed by JVM. To execute a logic, we need to use which one? Main method. That is one reason. JVM will recognize main method is the starting point for our execution. So whatever the application logic is available inside the main method, JVM will think that is an application logic, then JVM will execute that application logic directly. This is one point. Second one is like which one? Right, sir. It will define, already, main method starting point is the starting point of the application execution. Main method ending point is the ending point of the application execution. All of you observe this clearly. Main method starting point is the starting point of the application execution. Main method ending point is the ending point of the application execution. So what I'm telling to you, it will define starting point and ending point to the application execution. We require main method to define starting point and ending point to the application execution. We require which one? Main method. They are the two reasons why here we are writing our main method. Right, sir. What is the need of this main method in Java applications? In the sense to keep application logic in in order to recognize and execute it by JVM, and to define starting point and ending point for the application execution, we require like which one? Main method. Right, sir. These points are sufficient. Again, main method information we will discuss in the future. In object orientation, nearly, right, nearly 10 number of interview questions are available with the main method, and 2 to 3 hours of time we are going to spend for only main method in object orientation there after the static keyword topic. So because of that reason, now just understand what is what kind of information. It is not giving much meaningful now at present to discuss about and all these things. That's why in the future I will discuss about all these things. But here we are going to understand these are what exactly the Java programming format here. We are able to understand it clearly. Right, sir. Definitely. JVM will search for main method. Ruma, ma'am, JVM will search for main method whenever we are trying to execute this. When we execute this program, then JVM will search for main method. Right, sir. From which that execution will start in the sense from main method only. Starting point of the main method is a starting point of the application execution. Right, sir. From which that execution starts in the sense answer is very clear. Starting point of the main method is a starting point of the application execution. Directly when we execute this Java program there, JVM will come to the main class, JVM will execute main method. What do you provided inside this main method that will be executed? That's it. This is nothing but which one? Execution of the main method clearly. Right, sir. Good. Now this is about totally Java programming format here we completed. And next topic is like which one? Java features is the next topic here. So this topic I will discuss with you on Monday, not on tomorrow. On Monday, I will complete this topic. If time is permitted, I will start steps to prepare first Java application on Monday. Right, sir. Tomorrow, no class, guys. Tomorrow, no class. I thought this topic might not be completed there. But anyway, this topic is completed. Tomorrow, no class. Directly on Monday, I will take session. On Monday, I will go for Java features topic. Then only Monday, I will complete the Java features. On Tuesday onwards, we are going to application. Right. This is a schedule here. We can understand it clearly now. And how JVM knows that it is a main method of main class? No, simple point. Answer is very clear. To run our Java program, we are using command prompt on Java and command prompt Java space test. We are giving that main class name. Along with Java command, we are giving main class name to execute our Java program. So JVM will take that class name. JVM will search for main method in that class only. Right, sir. Understand it, sir. I sure, sir. Understand it now. So Java space test we are going to give to execute our program there. First JVM will understand that test is a main class. Then it will load that. Then after that, JVM will search for main method in the test class only. Right. What is this public in the sense scope related thing? No need to think about it. In the future, I will discuss about it. So public in the sense, and this class is available to throughout our application. This method is also available to throughout our application. That's the meaning here. Right, sir. Yes, definitely. Today's recording also we are able to get no problem. Guys, and if the Google Drive is not open, I think so. My admin people have given confirmation to me. He shared already that videos to all, right? All of you are getting that videos. All of you are getting videos. Those who registered for these classes, all of you are getting these videos regularly through Google Drive. No, no. I think some of you are getting it. Acha, by Sunday they want to share. Okay, good. Anyway, then meanwhile, we are uploading these videos on which one there? Our YouTube channel. Durgasoft YouTube channel is available. There we can see with the session number and with the timing of that session. We are sharing that videos. No, just try to check that videos anyway. Right. So that core Java document also, once that videos are started to share, automatically that will be provided. Right. Guys, Max, try to register for these classes as early as possible. Why? Because on all of a sudden that link may be expired. Right. That's why then think about it and try to go for it. Yeah. No problem, guys. No problem. So can I, ma'am. Just we can go ahead and talk with our admin people. Right. So now I'm going to share this document anyway today. Then what I completed. Today no diagrams are available and what I am giving to you. I need to share this document only. Wait a minute of time. What is going on? Okay, just within 2 minutes of time, I will share the document to you. Just we can check that one. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. We can access it. Just we can right click on it and open new tab and download. Not required to access it. Just download them. You can get it. All the members are getting it. Just right click on that document and open in new tab. Then directly we can access it. Yeah, the next class is on directly on Monday. No class on tomorrow. Directly we'll have next class on Monday. Right. Thank you. No, just we can access the drive only. Not possible to download. Just they are giving for access, but up to like 6 months to 7 or 8 months of time, they will give access to you. Just we can see that videos any number of times, not for download. I think so. Maybe all these things we can talk with the admin people. They'll give more clarity on it. That's it. Okay, guys, that's all for today. Then we'll meet on Monday directly. Thank you. Thanks a lot.